Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Melchizedek Chronicles. It's another day out here in, apparently from what I'm seeing, another day out in lunatic land. All right? Yeah, I've been trying to keep some tabs on what's going on these days, and right when a person thinks that it can't get any worse or people can't get any more stupid, they prove me wrong every time. Every time. And so I thought it was something to kind of come out and talk about today is the new Tylenol thing. Tylenol. So if you have not heard about this, let me tell you what this is. Obviously, everybody's probably heard of Tylenol. You know, it's a drug, a painkiller of some kind. Not that good. I mean, it's never worked for me. I know a lot of people it hasn't worked for. But, we've got our new president, Trump, and we've got RFK. He said he was going to get to the bottom of some of this health issues. They want to make America healthy again. And so some of the things they've been looking into is vaccines. They've been looking into what's in these vaccines. They've also been looking into some of the items that are in like your cereal and all kinds of stuff. So apparently, we have found out now that like you go buy a box of cereal, it's got all kinds of chemicals in it. And majority of these chemicals are banned in other countries because they're known to cause sickness, cause cancer, you name it. So they're trying to get those out, toxic products, toxic chemicals out of our everyday products for children especially. And for some reason, the lunatic left, they don't want these chemicals taken out. They want to eat the toxic chemicals. And I don't understand it. We're dealing with people who have went full retard. Okay? It's unbelievable is what it is. So these people, and I don't know how they got to this point. I really don't. Other than that, God has allowed them to believe a delusion. He's allowing it to happen because these people are so demonic, I guess. I guess that's what you'd call it. So we have these liberal, and it's always the liberals. It's always the left. Always. So there's something wrong. Okay? There's something wrong with this group of people. So here we come. So they don't want the chemicals out. They want them in. They want to eat the chemicals. Why? Because Trump wants them out. In fact, any normal person would want them out. But because Trump said he wants them out, we want them in. I mean, it's kind of a running joke. If Trump was to say oxygen is good, all of these lunatic left would try to stop breathing. I mean, maybe he should say that. Maybe he should come out and say that because these people are just, they're beyond help, I guess. They've literally rejected God so many times that he's allowed their heart to be hardened, and there's no coming back from it. These people are lunatics. They're devils. So anyway, so the latest thing is one of the things, they're trying to look into autism of these children. Of course, America has got the highest rates of autism, across the board. And it only started in the last so long ago. Well, come to find out, they're giving these kids all kinds of vaccines when they're born that they don't need. And come to find out, these vaccines are full of stuff like mercury and aluminum and stuff, high dosages. And, if you get that stuff, mercury, if you even touch it, the liquid mercury, it can poison you. So, and so they're asking, why are we putting these stuff in these vaccines for these children when it's known to cause brain damage? It's known to cause problems. Well, the lunatic left doesn't want that out. They want it in there. Okay? They want the kids to have mental problems. Why would they want that? Well, they're the same ones that don't want the kids born to begin with. They want them aborted. And so then if they manage to survive abortion, well, then pump them full of a bunch of chemicals that they don't need, and it'll make them go insane. They'll have autism, whatever, or they'll just die in their sleep. And then if that don't work, a little while later, convince them they're the opposite sex and butcher them and give them a bunch of drugs and cut off their body parts. I mean, you see the theme here, right? So we've got these same lunatic left. What are they doing now? Well, they came out and said, we'll come to find out. And this is not, you might could dispute this, but this is really an undisputed fact. Taking these types of drugs for any type of long term as an adult can cause your liver to fail. If you take them in high enough dosages, it'll just kill you. And so it's also very bad for your baby if you're pregnant. This is kind of common knowledge. Most people know this stuff. But when you start talking about the lunatic left, they don't know anything. Okay, they know nothing. So Trump comes out, okay, and let's see if I can get this up here. I don't know if oops, that's not it. Anyway, whether you can see this or not, this, if you're listening to audio, you probably can't see it, but right here it is. Basically, Trump comes out and he says not to take Tylenol, especially if you're pregnant. Tylenol can cause all kinds of problems. Don't take it. And he goes on there and says, don't take it. And so the lunatic left, because Trump said don't take Tylenol, what do you think they're doing? The internet is full of, TikTok especially, pregnant liberal women purposely downing Tylenol just to spite Trump. Okay. So they're purposely risking their own lives and their babies' lives just simply because they have Trump derangement syndrome. TDS is what they call it. And of course, what that is, the lunatic left, all of the lefties, which are mainly Democrats, not all, but most, all they do is talk about how bad Trump is. They don't care if the economy is better. They don't care about any of that stuff. It's just get rid of Orange Man. He's bad. Okay? So they don't care if he actually does clean up the place and get rid of crime because they want crime. They're mad because he's getting rid of deporting illegal criminals because they want illegal criminals. In other words, if you see the trend here, anything a normal person, a good wholesome person would want, or anything biblical, they're against. The same as Satan. It's always the opposite. And I say this all the time. So if you listen to these podcasts, you know what I'm talking about. Satan is opposite of good. Okay, so anything, and I'm not saying Trump is a good guy, but anybody who tries to do anything good, they're against. So I don't care what Trump has done or hasn't done. If the man can get poisons out of your child's cereal to make your kid live longer, that's good. If he can get mercury out of the vaccines that's killing kids, that's good. Okay, I don't care who he is. I mean, why have these liberal lefties never done any of this stuff before? How come Joe Biden didn't get mercury out of vaccines? They don't care. They want you dead. So these lunatic left are so indoctrinated by TV, fake TV, that they literally are, like in this case, he goes on and says that Tylenol can cause these different problems. Okay. Now, did he just make that up? Well, right here, we have a tweet, if you can see that right there, but I'm going to read it to you, from Tylenol on X, which was Twitter at the time. In 2017, 3/7/17, they posted, Tylenol did, "We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today." Okay? So Tylenol came out in 2017 and said, "We do not recommend you taking Tylenol if you're pregnant." So Trump didn't make this up. Okay, Tylenol even put it out there in 2017. But because Trump mentioned it again, now we have all the lunatic left going out and purposely taking Tylenol. Think about that. Acetaminophen is what it is known to shut your liver down from chronic use or too high dosage. So that's a fact. But because Trump said it, these pregnant women are purposely downing Tylenol now. I mean, they should be locked up. I personally think if you're pregnant and you go on TikTok and down a bottle of Tylenol, just because Trump said it's bad, you should be arrested. You should be put into a rubber room, restrained. After you have your baby, it should be taken away from you and put with a family, somebody that has a brain. And you should be locked up. Because in my opinion, you just tried to commit suicide and you tried to kill your baby. So you attempted murder. If you're that stupid. Okay, if you're that stupid, you have no business having a baby, in my opinion. Okay? Because we've got here on X, the headlines, right here. A woman 23 to 25 weeks pregnant is now on a ventilator from liver failure. She was trying to prove Trump wrong about Tylenol and autism because of this new TikTok trend between lunatic left. It's prove Trump wrong, drink lots of Tylenol. I mean, isn't it sad that somebody could be that brainwashed? I mean, listen, if you're a lunatic left and you purposely want to down a bottle of Tylenol and shut your liver down and kill yourself, go ahead. I mean, go ahead. Because, we really need to thin the herd a little bit, don't you think? If you've got people that stupid, what possible use can they be? They're useless. They can't even live in a normal society because they're so ate up. Okay. I don't know how else to explain it. Okay, so, but, here's here's an example of, how and why these people are thinking this, I guess. For example, here, CNN, of course, Clinton News Network is what they call it. It's a joke. They're liars and they're devils. But back here in August, in 2016, they came out with an article that said acetaminophen during pregnancy may increase risk of hyperactivity in kids. Okay? That's what they said in 2015. Then they come out again in 2017, CNN, and they say, study links acetaminophen in pregnancy to ADHD, but experts question the results. Okay? Now we come out here, they did it again in 2021. They said common painkillers should be investigated for possible risk to developing fetuses, experts say. This is CNN. So they have said it before. But now that Trump mentioned it, now, do you know what CNN says now? They say, Trump links autism to acetaminophen use during pregnancy, despite decades of evidence that it's safe. So they have posted all this stuff in the past, but see, Trump didn't say it. But because Trump mentioned it and RFK mentioned it, now they're saying it's safe to, it's safe because we've got decades of evidence that it's safe. So, yeah. I mean, and you believe them? It's unbelievable. It really is. It's unbelievable that you actually have people, lefties, lunatics, that will literally go out and overdose on anything because somebody said it's bad for you. I mean, I don't know why they're not sucking mercury down. You might as well. I mean, mercury causes all kinds of neurological problems, and they're trying to get it out of the vaccines. So, hey, that's what they want now. They want it in their vaccines. They want vaccines, and they want it full of mercury, so we'll kill them. They don't even want a safe vaccine. Yeah. Oh, boy. Anyway, here's some that I've got here. Talking about, this is from Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai study supports evidence that prenatal acetaminophen use may be linked to increased risk of autism and ADHD. That's not a Trump deal. That was released. I don't know what the date was on that. I can't see the date. The next one here was put out by National Library of Medicine in 2016. Use of acetaminophen during pregnancy and the risk of autism disorder in the offspring. Okay, 2016. This one was put out by the NIH, which, they're, the role of oxidative stress, inflammation, and acetaminophen exposure from birth to early childhood in the induction of autism. The next one, and Tylenol may increase risk of autism in children if taken during pregnancy. That was done in 2016. This one here is by the Pediatrics, pediatrics.org. Prenatal exposure to acetaminophen and risk of ADHD in 2017. So, and the list goes on and on. I've got, here's one that on one that was the University of Washington School of Medicine in, let's see, this one was in 2025, March 11th. Doctors told pregnant women Tylenol was safe. New research raised doubts. It sounds to me like there's a lot of old research out there that raises doubts. So, these people are literally doing this, to try to go against Trump. That's literally all it is. It's, let's go against what Trump says, and let's double up and take as much Tylenol as we can. Okay? That's what we've come down to. I mean, anybody knows that if you overdose or take different drugs like that, painkillers, acetaminophen, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, the NSAIDs, that they're dangerous. They can cause liver problems. I think it probably says it right on the bottle. And, yeah. So, literally, you have hundreds of these women, pregnant liberal women, filming themselves chewing up a bunch of Tylenol. They don't even need the Tylenol, but because, RFK and Trump said it, trying to warn people, that's what they're doing now. I don't even know what to say, other than God has allowed these people to believe a lie. And they have rejected God so many times, their heart has been seared. And so he allows them to believe a delusion. They're that ate up. these same individuals will be burning in hell, if you have any question about that. If your mind is so deluded that you believe this stuff, okay, and don't look into it for yourself, if you don't think that Trump is correct, or whoever says it, doesn't matter who says it, why don't you go do some research on Tylenol or acetaminophen in general? Don't believe and go do your own research. I mean, this research has been around for years. Any drug is bad for you and your baby. Okay? It's a man-made drug doing something. It can't be good for you. Just that alone is enough to, think about it before you do it. Don't just gulp down tons of medicine, especially when you're pregnant, and especially if you don't need it. But, we've got demon-possessed lunatic left. Wrong is right, right is wrong. Everything is opposite. So you try to help them, and, by taking chemicals out of their food, they don't want it out. They want the chemicals. You try to tell them what's going to kill them, well, they don't believe you. They take it anyway. So, more power to you. If you're a lunatic left, more power to you. Okay, go ahead. Just take the whole bottle. What's stopping you? Just go ahead and you're the one that's taking the Tylenol is going to end up in the hospital. It's you, not me. And if you honestly believe that downing a bottle of Tylenol is going to somehow hurt Trump or anybody besides yourself, again, you're demon-possessed and deluded. That's the only thing I can come up with. But again, these people, they get that TV turned on and they believe everything the left says. All these lunatic left liberals, all they do is lie. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. Now, I'm sure there's a lot on the right lying too. But you listen to the ones on the left, everything they say is a lie. They lie about you, they lie about me, they lie about everything. Everything they say is a lie. Everything that they want to put you in jail for, they themselves are doing. They can do their insider trading. They can do all that. They can literally become billionaires. While me and you, normal people, just have to pay their taxes and barely get by. Okay, somehow they have it all. I need to shut my truck off because I could, pollute something according to them, while they have private jets idling around. Private jets everywhere. Castles, mansions, you name it. I watched a deal, I read a deal. I think I read it. It's been a while back, but one of these, liberal lefties, whatever house they had over there, they have some big mansion over there by Washington. I think it was in Washington, somewhere over there. They were complaining about their electric bills in this mansion. And I remember they had filed a deal because they were wanting the state or the federal government or somebody, because, they're somebody, right, to pay that bill because they need to have their bills paid. The electric bill in this mansion over there was $12,000 a month. That's what the utilities were. And they were trying to get the government to pay that. $12,000 a month. There are people on Medicaid and disability and stuff. They only make about $900 to $1,000 a month. That's all they get paid to live. They make $12,000 a year. I know several people that are on disability making between $900 and $1,100 a month. That's all they make. They have to live on that. They have to pay all their bills and eat and everything on that. That's it. These guys, they're complaining about their electric bill, $12,000 a month. And they're wanting you as the taxpayer to pay it. Meanwhile, they also want you to not be able to drive around. You know, one of the things they were talking about in that UN deal the other day that Trump went over there too, they're talking about how there's too many cars. And so what you need to do is you need to have a car. If it's your neighbor's car, you need to have access to that car. That way you can use his car anytime you want. And they need to have it where you can get on a phone and unlock the doors and everything on your neighbor's car so you can use your neighbor's car if you need it. You don't need a car. Oh yeah, that's going to work out real well, isn't it? Somebody buys the car, but the neighbor gets to use it and trash it out anytime they want because you got too many cars. Right. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work out real well. But hey, in clown world, in fantasy land, which is where all these lunatic left seem to be living, maybe that would work. Maybe they should go do that. But don't come over here and try to jump in my pickup truck. Okay? You might not make it out. I'm going to consider that theft. So down here, people don't really take too kindly to somebody coming up and jumping in your vehicle and trying to drive off in it. For any reason. But anyway. So yeah, the liberal left has literally, I mean, they're lunatics. They're the lunatic left. I mean, they just, every day when you get on X or any type of any type of news source like that, I mean, it's unbelievable. Just when you think they can't get any stupider, any more stupid, or they can't lie anymore, they go to the next level. And that's why, like, you know, on this whole deal with Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled, you know, because he's a lunatic left and he's a liar. And all these guys are like that. Anybody says anything about them, you know, they're constantly outraged. Even though the cancel culture from the left has been going on forever. If they don't like what you say, they somehow get you canceled. And they get away with it. And here recently, if this stuff is true, you know, if they don't like what you're saying at a campus, they just shoot you. And supposedly, yesterday, I think it was, in Texas, you know, a bunch of lefties, you know, shoot through the roof of one of these ICE detention facilities. You know, they shoot the building up, you know, because they don't want these people deported, right? But supposedly in this scene, you know, they just shoot up the building, and guess what? They shot 3 of the detainees. So the people that they are supposedly trying to help got shot in the process. They didn't even shoot the ICE guys. They shot the detainees. Smart. Man, they're smart. And so every one of these lunatic left are using guns now to shoot people up while at the same time screaming gun control. Gun control. But you're the one with the gun shooting people. Yeah, but I want your gun taken away because you could defend yourself from me. Yeah, that's true. The only ones these lunatic left go after are unarmed, you know, either children or somebody that can't defend themselves. That's always the ones they go after. They never go after anybody that's armed. So they want the guns taken away so they can have the guns and they can shoot you, but you can't defend yourself. You just have to sit there and take it. But that's their mentality. And I hear it all the time. Guns are bad. Guns are terrible. But we want a gun so we can shoot you. We don't like the police, so we're going to shoot the police. We don't like ICE, so we're going to shoot ICE. We're going to shoot anybody we don't like. Oh, you're sitting on a campus talking to some kids about God? Well, we'll just shoot you. But that's okay. But hey, we need guns taken away from you. It's unbelievable. So my advice to you, if you're listening to this and you're a lunatic left, or don't think you are, but you're really got a craving to chew up a bottle of Tylenol, don't do it. Okay, if you are thinking in your mind right now, oh man, I'd love to have a big bottle of Tylenol right now so I can prove them all wrong. If you're thinking that, you need to have your head examined. Okay? What you're doing is you're falling for lunacy. You're falling for the devil's tricks. That's what he wants. He wants you dead. And so if you believe you should be dead, well, then you'll probably kill yourself. Or you'll overdose. Or you'll kill somebody else. Or you'll chop your body parts off. But that's the whole goal of Satan, is to get rid of you. And he puts out this propaganda and has been doing it since you were a baby. He did it to me too. Okay? You have to choose to look at the truth. You can't go by what the devil is saying, okay? You actually have to choose and want to know the truth. You need to go seek it. Okay? Don't just listen to CNN. Don't listen to all these, these liberals that are on there. Every one of these liberal women, with their nose pierced and their great big huge ridiculous glasses and their short dyed hair. I guess that's a thing now. If you see a woman with super short hair, dyed pink, with giant glasses on and a whatever that called, a bull ring, well, you better check her for Tylenol, because she's probably got a bottle of Tylenol somewhere she's chewing on. It's like, seriously? Risk your life and risk your babies because you don't like Trump. Well, hey, I didn't like Biden. I don't necessarily like Trump either, but if one of them, Biden pushed every day he was on the air, he pushed you to go get a shot that you don't need. That's all he could talk about. That's all they talk about. Okay? That don't mean you go get it. Anyway. So, I want to wrap this one up. This will be a little shorter deal here today, but I just thought I'd throw that out there because, that's a big trending deal now. Take your Tylenol, double up on Tylenol, chew a bunch. I'm probably great for Tylenol. Whoever owns Tylenol, who owns it, Bayer, somebody like that. They're probably sold out of Tylenol by now. Like California, Chicago, and stuff, they're probably sold out of Tylenol. You probably can't get Tylenol. I guess I need to start selling Tylenol. It'd be like, well, I bought it down here in Arkansas where nobody wants it for $1 a bottle, but over there in California, it's probably $100 a bottle. Because they're wanting it so bad. They've got to have that Tylenol. They've got to chew it up on TikTok. Eat your Tylenol now. Have you got your Tylenol? This world is literally going down. It's going to hell in a handbasket is what it is. But, hey, why wouldn't it be? We're in the end times. Okay? Everything that these nuts are doing, the Bible has already predicted. Says what they're going to do, and they're doing it. And it's getting worse and worse every day. That's what the Bible predicted. So, we're getting close to those end times. Real close. We're getting real close to that rapture. We don't know when, but it's every day it's a day closer. But, if you're not sure what's going on or whatever, you need to get saved. Okay? You need to drop the bull that you read on here. You need to drop all that. You need to forget about going to Mars. You need to forget about chewing up a bunch of Tylenol. You need to forget all that junk. And you need to stick your nose in the Holy Bible and find out what God's wanting. And you need to get yourself saved. Okay? You need to get a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Get yourself saved before it's too late. Because if you keep on messing around with all this stuff and this lunatic left and shooting people up and taking your Tylenol or whatever it is you're doing, well, you're going to end up in hell sooner than later. And I don't really think that's where you're going to want to be. Is it? I think you should probably think about the consequences of your actions, okay? Anyway, I guess that's it for now. Thanks again for listening. Be sure and check out our websites. It's flatbro.com, truthseekersministry.org, kennywilliamson.com. If you're on YouTube, you can check us out on Spotify, all the places. Like and share it if you don't mind. Yeah, I think that's it for now. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to send me an email. So until we meet again, God bless you. Thanks again for listening.